Oh my God. It's good to see you. I met you once with the Chainsmokers, them troublemakers, a couple of months, whenever it was. I'm losing track of time. Kelsea Ballerini, how you doing?
Yeah, it's been a couple years. Can you believe that?
Has that been, God, in my
It's,
head, it's like a couple of months, but
I
quarantine's got me
know.
crazy.
I don't know what day of the week it is. I don't know what month it is. It's fine. It's fine. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. We got lots to chat about, music, all this stuff. You guys, Kelsea Ballerini is hanging out. I know during quarantine, which of course has been just nuts. But one of
Yeah.
the things I thought was really cool was the way you delivered albums to, I guess, a handful of fans with the drone thing and the pizza. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, it was crazy. My album came out on the 20th, which was right like the week that everything really, really shut down and got very serious. And
March
so we
20th, you're
kind of
talking, yeah.
March 20th, yeah. And so we had to kind of turn on a dime and figure out what to do to get the music to people safely. And so, yeah, we partnered with this company that like helped us bring drones to like super fans and drop off pizzas and sweatpants to people that were like going to have album parties in their homes because we were going to do all these things to go to them, and instead we were like, well, I'll like be on the phone, tweet me, like have fun listening to the album, here's some pizza. So it was the best we could do, but it was fun.
Can you imagine like a super fan, like a Kelsea Ballerini, super over the top crazy fan getting a drone delivered? And pizza was involved, to my understanding, too, was it not? At
It
times.
was, and sweatpants that say I don't want to go
Oh,
to the club down the side. But I also kind of felt like a super creep just messaging fans being like, can I have your address? I promise it's me. Like, luckily they trusted me, luckily they gave it to me.
hey, I want to deliver something. It's really,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure. Did a
Yeah,
few of
just
them,
kidding.
were a handful of them like, wait, are you sure this is you? Or did they
Yeah.
all, they knew it
They
was
all
you?
trusted me. I mean, that's kind of scary, but I'm glad they do.
That's pretty awesome. I've talked about the album for people who don't have it. And and give me some other things you might be working on, especially during quarantine. I'm sure you've been bored. You've been doing
Yeah.
who knows what. So yeah, talk about the album and anything else you've been kind of drumming up.
I mean, it's interesting because this album, like, it kind of took me 2 years to make. And now that it's out and I've had all this time at home, like, I've been writing enough to put another one out. So it's hard for me to even, like, get not excited about new stuff. But yeah, I mean, this album, it's my third record. And I feel like, I wrote my first album when I was 19 and I'm 26 now. So to be able to kind of grow up through music and grow up through putting it all out into songs has been really therapeutic for me, especially in the last few years. Just kind of coming up for air for the first time and like figuring out who I am as a young woman. And it's been really fun to write about and to share. And I think this project in particular has been really more like vulnerable, which like everyone says that. So I know that's like commonly used, but it really is. It's been like really more open than I've been before. So it's been definitely fulfilling to be able to like get it out and connect with people through that, especially through a time when like I know as a fan myself, I'm really connecting through music right now more than I ever have been. So I'm grateful to be able to be on the other side of it too. And I've been writing my tail off, so who knows what's next.
Definitely looking forward to the new music, which I'm always curious about. What will the music sound like? The bulk of music that's been created during quarantine, is it all going to be depressing, like oh my God, get me out of here type of
Lonely.
lyrics? Lonely. Who knows? But if you don't have this album, Kelsea from Kelsea Ballerini, get on it, or you're a bad person. There it is, Kelsea. Not saying all your fans are psycho, but everyone has a few psycho fan encounters when they get a little extra. Even and I don't sing, which is crazy to think. Give me a good, crazy fan encounter that you may have had in the past, if you have
Okay, I
any.
have a good one. I was playing Barclay Center up in New York, and I didn't have time to get my nails done, and they were looking terrible. So I went to Walgreens and I got press-on nails.
Nothing wrong with
And
that.
I was nothing wrong with that, but I was playing guitar, and the guitar string got caught under one of my press-on nails and flew out into the crowd. And I guess someone caught it like a guitar pick. And so later I had tweeted I just feel like you should say it if it's embarrassing so no one else can say it before you and you kind of can own it. And so I said it on Twitter or something and someone took a photo of the nail. They're like, I caught it. And I was like, oh my God, throw it away. Yeah.
Did they throw it away, or I bet it's posted, it's on a wall somewhere. There's your broken Walmart nail.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That was pretty embarrassing, but I need to like send them something to be like, here, just take this, throw away the nail.
Oh my God. Do you have any odd dressing room requests? Because I'm a big believer that every artist should have, the things you want, water, tea, but you need to put something just nuts.
Bougie.
Yeah, what bougie or just weird, and you have to put it at the very end of your rider, just so you know that if you walk in and you see this crazy thing, you can feel pretty good that they've got everything else. Joe Jonas told me that he used to put an 80s basketball poster at the end of his rider. So if he walked in and he saw like a Larry Bird or a Michael Jordan in those short, old school basketball shorts, he would know that they took care of everything if they had that crazy poster on the wall.
Wow.
So do you have, what do you do? Or if not, you should, but what do you do?
Well, I'm not really the status of a Jonas brother, but I'm actually, they're on another level. I mean, and also, like, I don't know if you said that because you know that I'm obsessed with the Jonas Brothers, but I have a deep love for them. Anyway, but no, I get ready on my bus. I don't even go into the venue until it's time to like do stuff. I'm really boring. I don't have, tequila, but I don't even put nice tequila on there. I'm not like, I need to upgrade it to like 1942, like to be bougie, but I haven't even done that yet.
Okay, here's an idea for you. Next tour, upgrade it to, the bougie tequila and ask for a Jonas Brothers poster to be put on the wall somewhere. That's
brilliant.
And if you walk in and you see the Joe Bros on your wall, you can probably bet they've got everything else, including your tequila. There we go. We solved that's perfect.
And I'll feel like a 14-year-old like fangirl again, which will just be perfect before shows.
Love it, man. Kelsea Ballerini is hanging out, you guys. On with the countdown. This is song number 14. That was an extra track on the iHeartRadio countdown. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. Kelsea Ballerini's hanging out. Going to play her track, The Other Girl, featuring Halsey in a couple of minutes. Talk about meeting Halsey and the friendship. What do you guys have going on? Give me that whole encounter and update me.
Well, I'm a fan. I started as a fan. I'm still a fan. I went to her show when she toured Nashville a couple of years ago and got to go back and meet her after the show. And we just clicked. We're both young artists that are truly, truly songwriters, care so much about the music and the messaging that we put out. And I think we just connected on that level and went out in Nashville that night. I took her to a double wide karaoke bar.
A what?
Yep. And we sang Sheryl Crow songs and Fleetwood Mac songs and just became the best of friends. And so when I was doing this album, I knew that I wanted to do a female collaboration, and I knew that I wanted to be with someone that I admired and that I was friends with. And so she was perfect. And she just adds she has a tone that no one else has. And it, in my opinion, as a fan, it cuts through on the radio like nothing else. And so to have her to be a part of this song is so fun. Fun.
I've always told her vocals to me sound haunting, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's something about them. I do have to ask a follow-up. What is a double wide karaoke?
It's a double wide trailer.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
As
a kid, I grew up in a mobile home, but I didn't have the double wide. But
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just a bigger one of those. It's very Nashville.
One of these days, I got to see this. True or false? Your dad makes your favorite meal known as Eddie's spaghetti.
Yeah, with the last name Ballerini, it's in the blood. Right. And so he does a really good risotto and a really good Eddie's spaghetti that I will master one day. I haven't done it yet, but I will.
And I think you mentioned this to me last time you came in with the Chainsmokers, but true or false, once again, just to clarify, you put ranch dressing on your steak.
I've kind of grown out of that because I'm trying to be an adult lately. It's really difficult. So I try to not do it anymore. But yes, I did. I grew up putting ranch on my steak, on my pizza, sometimes on spaghetti. I know. Ew.
I would love to see you in some fancy restaurant. I'm sure you've been to some great steakhouses. Kelsea Ballerini would like some ranch for her steak. They must have a heart attack in there,
They're like, this girl's from East Tennessee.
Let's do it. The Other Girl featuring Halsey. We know the friendship you and Halsey have. Now let's talk about this track, The Other Girl. What do we need to know?
So I wanted to do a modern day take on The Boy Is Mine, or if you're a country fan, Does He Love You? Where it's kind of like this storytelling song where the two girls have the moment of conversation where they find out that there's a love triangle, and you're like, wait, so we're both getting lied to, but who was the one that actually had him? And in turn, no one really had him. And one thing I'm really proud of with this song, and I know it was important to both me and Ashley, was the whole song is angsty and it's moody and it's dark and it's sexy, but there's no aggression towards each other. So it was really important to us to just have this underlying message of it's still empowering because we're not mad at each other. We're mad at the situation. We're mad at him. And it's kind of like we both step into these characters in the song, which I normally write from such a personal place that it was really fun for me to write just as like a character in a story.
Two-part question. What is the biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And the complete flip of that, have you ever been booed?
Okay, yes and yet. Oh, well, the first one was an yes or no, but biggest crowd I think is I played the Houston Rodeo and it was like 60,000 people, which was crazy.
Astrodome or whatever it was.
Yes, exactly. So that was crazy. And then I have been booed. It was like I had my first single out on country radio. I was a baby artist, and I didn't learn the trick of writing the city on the set list. And I was exhausted, and I had no idea where I was. And I think I was in Charlotte, but I said like something else. And I said like, "Thank you, Charlotte," or wherever I was, and it wasn't right. And I got booed. And I walked off stage sobbing, and I was like, "My career's over. I can't ever come back here. I'm banned from the city." And it wasn't that big of a deal, but at the time I was like, this is horrible. So now I always write the date, the day of the week, like what city I'm in, all of it, so I don't mess it up.
Oh my God, it's got to be an awful feeling. Although some would consider being booed sort of a rite of passage. You grow as an artist when something like that happens, and at least now you know what day it is and all that fun stuff. So maybe it was a plus. Who knows? You know.
It's true. It could have been worse. It's fine.
People are probably booing me right now. Who knows? Kelsey, how anxious are you to, at some point, get back on the road?
Oh, man. I mean, as soon as it's safe, I'm ready. I don't care where. I don't care the size of the room. Just put me in a room with people. Especially with new music, you know, like you make it to share it. And so I made it, and then I wasn't able to share it like I want to. And I'm like a hugger. Like I want to, in meet and greets, I love to just be around people and look people in the eye and say thank you and connect in that way. And so I'm really dying to do that whenever it's safe, whenever that may be.
Yeah. It's been 6 months or maybe 4 months since any touring at all. I'm just going to shows, you know. And hey, what's this? I heard whenever you do go back on the road, you have some sort of you want to try doing the hydraulic thing. I was told at some point you want to be lowered down on hydraulics.
Oh my God.
Is that a
Where
true
do you
story?
Find all of this?
Well, is it true or is it because I don't know where I found it at, but
that's so funny. That is in the Ranch on Steak. I don't know where you find this stuff. When I first moved to town and signed my record deal, I had like this little goal list, and one of the things was to come up on a hydraulic lift. And I've done it one other time, and it was when I guested on Taylor's 1989 tour. And I remember coming up in the arena and just being like, "This is it. This is the moment." So yeah, I want to do it again, but on my stage.
Is it a rush? You know, and it'll be much more of a rush when it's your show, obviously. But is it a rush to be sitting, you know, I guess below the stage? You can hear the rumble, and you're waiting for them to push the button, and then it's just got to be just a rush that, you know, to your face creeps above the stage. Then they start to recognize you, and it's just everything about that is just good, right?
Yeah, it's so rock star. And I also feel like it's like the calm before the storm moment where like you can feel the energy, but you're not really in it yet. Like I said, I've only done it once, but it was very memorable.
No doubt, man. Kelsey, what is the weirdest place you've ever been asked for a good old selfie?
Bathrooms all the time, which I get it. Like, cause you know, like when you're getting ready to go out, you take like mirror selfies in the bathroom, but like when you're out somewhere and you're in the bathroom, it's weird. It gets weird.
I think bathrooms should be, you know,
the
off limits, you know.
I'm so down for selfies anywhere, but that one's a little weird.
Please tell me you haven't gotten. Here's some of the horror stories I've heard from some artists. Pics being, or, you know, items, merch being slipped under a stall. Hey, can you sign this? And you see the hand coming under the stall.
No.
I want to say Kelly Clarkson told me that. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but
I love Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recall if she signed it or not, but, you know, good thing that hasn't happened to you. Here's another thing you're going to ask, how did I find this out? And maybe this is common knowledge. I don't know, but true or false? And this is so embarrassing.
Oh, boy.
You once said, per the story, your most embarrassing moment was 8th grade photo day.
Oh, my God. Where do you find this stuff?
Tell me that story, because this is, I mean, looking back, it must be funny to go, you know, memory wrote it, you know. But
Middle
wow.
school, it was just a time. The story is basically, it was the day that we had to run the mile in PE class, but it was also picture day, which they should get that straight. It should never be the same day.
Right.
But I had to run the mile before my picture. And so you have to change out. And so I put on my gym clothes, did the mile, probably didn't run the whole mile because I'm not athletic. And so then I'm sweaty, I'm out of breath, I'm changing back into my cute outfit that like my mom had helped me like pick out the whole thing. And it was a skirt. And so I checked the front of me before I left the locker room, but I didn't check the back of me. And the thing about middle school is people are mean. And so I walked all the way down from the gym to the cafeteria where the photos were set up with people laughing, and I didn't know why. And then finally my friend came up behind me and pulled my skirt out from my underwear.
Oh
So
God.
yeah. Yep. So I just walked the whole school with just like booty out.
Oh Lord. Now at least it didn't make it into the pic, correct?
It
Or
did
did
make
it?
it into the pic. Luckily
Okay.
someone had my back before then, but like,
Okay.
yeah, that was a little traumatizing.
Yeah, they, you know what? To wrap it up on this topic, they need to, if it's picture day, don't run a mile before the pic. I mean, are they trying to make you look, just worn out during?
Awful. You're already insecure. It's like, don't do this.
That's sabotage, man. Kelsey, have you ever been mistaken for the wrong celebrity or mistaken for yourself? Either of those.
Yes. There's another country artist. Her name is Lauren Elena. We get mistakes for each other all the time. And then like rewind maybe 15 years. One time I got stopped in an air. Also, like I was a kid and I had nothing going on, but I got stopped in an airport because they thought I was either Allie or AJ. I forget which one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it was the younger one. I think I looked like. But that's it.
Did you say, well, of course I am,
I
and take
fully
a pic?
signed the paper. I had never been asked for an autograph before. I was like, I'll sign someone else's name. I don't care.
You got to do that. I mean, for real. Kelsey, the story about Taylor Swift tweeting about your music. She said something to the effect that she loved your music. And I think your reaction was, did somebody hack her account? You were so in shock and so, just floored. Walk me through that moment.
Man, I mean, she found my first EP before my first single was even top 40. I like it was just the beginning stages, and to be a young woman, I'm on an independent label, especially in country music at the time. That was like everything was stacked against me, and she championed me in that moment, and it was crazy. Like it changed everything, and after that, like reached out. We've had a really awesome friendship ever since, and it's just been, as a young female in the music industry, to have another female to look to and have that camaraderie and mentorship has been like so crucial for me to just keep myself on path, I guess.
Have you in turn done that to someone else, or do you plan to do that to some younger artist, a younger Kelsey, so to speak?
I try, like when I find artists in any genre that I love, I'm always really vocal about it. Like my platform's not a Taylor platform, but I use whatever I have to like echo what she's done for me, for sure.
Well, clearly it may not be Taylor size yet, but you have clearly arrived and you're doing some amazing things. So I think your platform is bigger than you're saying. So that's just my 2 cents. Kelsey, let's do a quick recap. Your album, Kelsey,
Yeah.
of course, it's out. Everybody needs to get on it. The Other Girl featuring Halsey, that's out. Get on
It's a
that.
bop.
Yep, of course. Run that like crazy. You don't put ranch on your steak as much as you used to, but you still do because you're from Tennessee, and that's how you roll out there,
Yeah, because
Your
I'm
dad
trying
makes,
out the whole hashtag adulting thing. We'll see how it goes.
of course. You haven't had a paranormal encounter, but for the people who know me for asking that question, I did ask her behind the scenes, and she hasn't had one yet. If you do, let me know.
I'll call you.
God, you got it. And I can't wait to see you on the road at some point, Kelsey. What else am I missing, Kelsey?
I mean, that's it. Life's pretty boring right now. I'm writing songs in my bedroom at all times and hanging out with my dog. So that's it.
I appreciate your time. Can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah,
A lot of
soon,
fun chatting with
hopefully.
you. At
Thanks,
the end of
JoJo.
every interview, of course, at the end of every interview, Kelsey, I do a fist bump to make it official. But since we're not in person, hit that camera. Give me a boom.
Boom.
Love it.